This is the plaintiff, Monique Dillon. She says she hired the defendant for snow removal, and it snowed 3 times and the defendant never showed up. She was a fool because she prepaid him and now he won't return her money. If that weren't bad enough, she also prepaid him for repairs, which he did not complete. And even though he was an ex-Navy officer, she never should have trusted him. She's suing for $4,218, the amount she's due. This is the defendant, Gary. He says he was good friends with the plaintiff's husband who was deployed in the Navy. He told her he charged $75 an hour for snow removal and home repairs, and she agreed. He removed the snow every time there was a storm. He fixed her dishwasher, installed an escape ladder in one of the bedrooms, and even fixed her sex toy as requested. He fulfilled his part of the bargain and owes this woman nothing. He's accused of not being handy enough.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Monique Dillon, you are suing Gary. You've asked us not to mention your last name for $4,218. The balance of 2 retainers that you gave him for snow removal and home improvement. Okay, what's going on?
So basically, I met Gary through poetry online.
Through poetry online, okay.
And we became somewhat friends because, you know, we would talk about common interests with poetry.
Okay.
He would email back and forth. We eventually started text messaging. Eventually, I explained to him how I'm in a bind because I'm handicapped. And
What is the nature of your handicap?
I have a degenerative disc disease. The discs in my spine have lost their fluid. They've become arthritic.
Oh, you're
Some
so
have
young.
herniated.
How old are you?
Fortunately, I'm only 32 right now.
Right.
But I actually had this my whole life.
Okay.
So I grew up
So
with this.
in any event, you needed help around the house. And your
Yeah.
husband is where?
My husband is in the Navy.
Okay.
So he was deployed for 6 months. And then after deployment, right away, the Navy's like, you're going to Kings Bay, Georgia. And I was stuck, stayed behind in Connecticut with my 3 kids and an elderly mother-in-law.
Okay.
And I had, in the past, when it snowed, I actually had another woman who would actually shovel it out. And she was paid per day.
Per day?
Yeah.
Oh.
I gave her the cash, you know, she would shovel.
So where did you get the bright idea to pay a retainer for a snow guy?
He did.
Well, why would you say no?
Well, because I never
I mean, retainers are
hired-
for lawyers and accountants. No disrespect intended. I don't understand why you would, a handyman and a snowplower would say, give me a $3,000 retainer.
I've never done that before.
Yeah, why would you do it now?
Because I didn't realize it was something that you don't do.
Why would you not? Why would your gut not tell you it's something you don't do? When have you ever heard? Do you have friends? Other Navy wives? Anybody
No.
to talk? Really, you don't know another human on the planet. You say, is that usual to pay a retainer to a snow guy? I mean, it's just a bad idea no matter what. Why are you asking this nice lady for a retainer?
Ma'am, I didn't ask her for the retainer. I told her what the per job rate would be. And she was the one who offered the $3,000 up front.
That doesn't make any sense.
So-
If you tell her whenever I come to your
She
house I
said-
charge X, what's X? What did
X
you
was $75 a storm.
per storm?
Yes.
Okay, so no matter how many hours it takes, it's $75.
Yes.
All right, so you tell her that, why wouldn't you and she says, wait, can't I please just give you $3,000? Instead of waiting for a
She
storm and
wanted
paying
it-
you $75?
She wanted to give me the $3,000 to guarantee services through the winter.
And how'd that work out for you, by the way?
It did not.
Because what? How many times did this man come out to your house?
It snowed, that
Like
was
snow enough to
shovelable. That was
yeah,
actually
right,
shovelable.
right.
A total of 3 times.
And how many times did he come?
2.
Okay, and so the other time you got stuck?
Yes. So the last time in March, it was the biggest snowstorm of the year, actually. And it snowed multiple times. And he never came. And I text messaged him multiple times, hey, when are you coming? Why
Did
haven't you
he
come?
and your husband know each other?
Not,
I actually do know her husband.
You're ex-Navy?
Yes, ma'am.
not on a personal level,
Okay.
but more in the professional field. in the
Okay.
sense that in the Navy community. It's a very
Okay.
small community.
All right. So, wow, shame it got to this because it's getting around, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the reasons why I trusted him, because I was always told that, you know, Navy, you stick together, you help each other out, you're there for each other. Unfortunately, I don't know any Navy wives because I don't live in Navy housing. If you were to live in Navy housing, the wives, they do things for each other. I don't. I live outside the Navy community
Are you moving to Georgia?
I already did.
You already did. So are you living in Navy housing now?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Still not.
All right.
But closer this time, 6 minutes from the base.
Okay. All right. So now the other thing that you paid him a retainer for was for handyman work around the house, correct?
House repairs.
House
yes.
repairs. All right. So now, how much of a retainer did you pay him for that?
$1,500.
Okay. So now he's got $4,500 of your dollars. And
Yeah.
lo and behold, he's not showing up for your jobs, right? Do you know why? Because
he's got the money.
he's got the money, and he makes more money if he goes to jobs that haven't paid him the money yet.
Right. And again, the idea
Yeah, again,
was...
is this answer you're going to give me again as bad as the first one? Because we can just skip it. All right. So now let's talk about the work that needed to be done around the house.
Yeah,
So you
I have
had
a
a
list.
big punch list of stuff you needed to do. Go ahead and hand it to me. And then may I see an invoice that he might have presented to you with all the things that he says he did?
I have the exact invoice that he texted me in March.
May I see it? And does that contain all the
After-
things he says he did?
No, because there's a lot of items on that list that has to do with research. I researched how to fix this problem, which he never did.
Okay.
Researching a
Window glass
repair.
repair, research for material, $187.50. That's odd.
Yeah.
Extra
research.
charges from overage snowfall times 3, $125.
That
I thought
was
you.
unclear. I didn't understand that. I asked him
All right,
to...
let's hear from him for a while. Take the off button, please. What's going on?
Well, I know her husband, and we were in contact, and then I knew she did poetry, so yes, we did exchange poetry back and forth, and she said she needed some help around the house,
What were you charging her for your handyman work?
$75 an hour.
An hour?
Yes.
How'd he told you he was going to charge you $75 an hour for the handyman work?
He did not. He actually kept telling me, oh, don't worry.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm
You know
going
when
to-
it's time for you to worry, Red?
When he says don't worry.
When anybody says to you, don't worry, okay? It's a contract. You need to worry. What else besides the things she already went over did you fix at that house?
I've got a list. That's a complete breakdown of everything that was done.
Oh, snow removal retainer, $3,000. Non-refundable retainer, you wrote next to it.
What?
Yeah, that's what he wrote.
What?
Yeah, that's what he
That
wrote.
was no. No,
Yeah.
he told me whatever is not used, you get back.
Handyman labor services. This is how you've managed this, because see, you're desperately trying to eat up the $1,500. So what you do is you charge her $200 for a consult as a handyman, like you are a lawyer or an accountant. How do you sleep at night? I'm serious. How do you sleep at night?
Not well.
You shouldn't, because this is pretty abusive. But you think she likes you?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So if you hired somebody to do a job, would you ever give them full payment before they started?
No,
Why?
because I guess you don't really know who you're giving the money to. So
Well, but that's whether you give half or full, that's the case. Why wouldn't you give the full amount? Why do you say?
Probably because they haven't done the work for me yet, and I want to make sure they're going to do the job well.
How do you know they're going to do the job well by if you give them the full amount?
Guess
Oh, come on, you're so close.
You'll know because
You're so close.
they're going to do the job for you, and you'll get paid.
Okay, sort of. Going inside the courtroom.
Repair sex machine, $75. Why don't you elucidate me on that?
It's a personal machine that it's got a motor on it. Goes from anywhere
Did
between.
you seriously give that to him to fix? How much did it
My
cost? You couldn't
husband
just
is
buy a new
gone
one?
all the time. It keeps
listen,
me
I,
sane.
I do not need an explanation. Trust me.
I need it working.
Why would you hand it to some guy to fix instead of just going and buying something else?
It's a little too large to just hand over to somebody.
It's big, and it costs like $800.
What's it called?
What I named it or what it's actually
I
named?
don't want to know what you named it. I want to know what it is. That's what I want to know.
It goes at like 60 revolutions a minute.
No,
and-
what's it named? What's it called? What's the
to
maker?
300.
Who's the what?
I got it on
It's an electric motor.
sexfantasies.com, and it's called the Maestro.
That's all I wanted to know.
It was yeah, okay.
You took how much? $4,500 from this lady? I find that the work you did entitles you to $450. Pay the lady $4,050. That's my judgment. And you need to use your brain, okay? The next time. You need to use your brain, and frankly, everybody around you needs to help you use your brain, okay? You pay when the work is done. You got 3 kids depending on you. You got to make better decisions, okay? Good luck to you in Georgia.
So the plaintiff prevails to the tune of $4,000. Gary, I think it's pretty obvious the judge thinks you really took advantage of her. What do you think?
I didn't take advantage of her at all. We got the documentation to support it, so.
Well, I think most people would agree. They think you did take advantage of her. It certainly looks like that. I'm sorry, but that's it. Okay, $4,000. Thank you very much. And the plaintiff is on her way out of the court. I guess you feel better now. I don't know what it's like to go through a trial like this, especially with some of the things that came out. You okay, though, with this?
Well, I feel a little frustrated, but I do feel upset with myself that I'm in this predicament because I shouldn't have given such a big retainer.
No kidding. You should have learned. Well, congratulations. Thank you very much. Okay? Hope you've learned something here. Harvey?
I mean, look, you never pay the full amount up front because then there's no incentive for them to really put you in the front of the line and getting the work done. The most you should pay up front, I think, 50%.